Welcome to Life and Stories Network.
It's about life and stories.
My name is Pastor AD, the beloved one, Wise Man Kasebele. Thank you.
And I am your co-host Mawara.
And then I'm the John Pell and the better known as MJP. What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you talk about
No, man.
No. But they do say, "Ungatatazeli, you must zazazel sometimes."
Yeah. No, man, the future is bright. Man.
Yeah.
You can see the future.
Yeah, the future is very bright.
Yeah.
But you know.
Kali Google.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Let's
relax, man.
It's wonderful, guys. We are once more here again on Life and Stories Network, and then as we move along, we are also delighted to see more people coming to podcasts, coming to share the stories. And it's just a great feeling.
Everyone who support us, man.
Wow.
We thank you for all the guests that are coming in. We thank you so much. We appreciate them, and also not forgetting that, let's say, we wish all the best to those matriculants that are about to write, my friend. When you are going to exam room, we have passed through that. Yeah, we have passed through that.
It's bad.
It's bad. For these ones that are going to write,
but is it because people need to survive, or what? A survival of the fittest, as someone would say that.
I think also people who are not book smart, they do present opportunity to people who want to survive, who wants to make those things, who can maybe, let's say, give them those not legal matric certificate, so that they can make money out of it. I think both parties, they play an important role. I think so. I don't know what you guys think, eh?
Yeah, but what I think, some of these things, when you start them, it looks nice and everything.
Yes,
and appropriate, because now you need money. You get to work and get a permanent position. Yeah. But later on, it hints back again.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, we know a lot of these cases that happen where it's like someone, because you always hear growing up, they tell you, education is important.
Yeah.
And then, when you are young, you don't listen.
Obvious.
It's difficult.
Obvious.
Yes, you hear what they're saying, but you are not understanding at the moment. You are just looking for
something very fast, eh?
Yeah, very fast. So
same as look, otrosha. How to be the carers, and then how she or he wants to experience that. Honestly speaking.
But it's not nice when you're working for 10 years and you've been permanent for 10 years. When they come and check the papers and everything, while you are settling, and then you're trying to build a house, you're trying to get married, or whatever the case might be, and then this get caught up with you.
Yeah, obviously the truth has its own way to come out, no
matter
how you can try to oppress it, but it always will find its way to come out. I think for me, if someone has, opportunity has presented itself, whereby you are being hired without any qualification, I think a proper way for someone to deal with it is why don't you at least then, the time you are in and working, why don't you at least then try to go to school for the particular post that you are
try
for,
to,
and then try to write your matric, try to do things according, so that when inspectors come later on and they are able to find out that your things are well organized.
But do you think now, Warren, Pastor A, today, do you think the youth for today, or young people, do you think they know the importance of having a grade 12 or a matric certificate thereof? Because now we've got many dropouts, right? Every year we've got. Do you think there's a significance, sort of a significance, where they say, we know this is very important, this is unique, we need to have this?
I mean, I couldn't speak for them in terms of understanding, but we can see that in today's world that we're living in right now, it's very very it's very very important to have Matric, because even those security jobs that used to hire from grade 9 now, they've switched to asking for Matric. I remember there's a specific company, I think it was like 2 months ago, they were getting rid of employees that they didn't have grade 12.
So it's like an entry level. It's
it's like above board now.
Yeah, I think in years to come, issue of like Matric, issue of driver's license, those kind of issues, I think there will be an entry level of you getting a job, or a minimum requirement for you to obtain a certain job. Because of I was sharing this with someone, telling them that let's look at this way. Let's say you have been hired as an admin, you understand, and then you have to attend a certain meeting somewhere, and then there's a company has cars, and then by then the guys who normally transport like employee are not available, and you don't have a license, you have to attend a certain meeting, and they say, okay, can you attend a certain meeting? You don't have a license. Then they have to quickly find someone for you so that you can go and attend that meeting. But if you have a license, then they can quickly say, no, the car is there, then you drive yourself to the meeting. I think it will be easy and it will be convenient, like to be able like to have a Matric and to have a license at the same time. I think for future, I think that's where we are going, and then having Matric, I think it is important.
Even though we are having a different perspective from people who would be watching this podcast, who would say people are rich. People would be giving examples of saying some people are very rich and then they've never gone to school. You get to South Africa, and then in the Northwest Province also you've got those people who are very rich. I would not say surely billionaires or multi-millionaires, but I know there are those who are successful that did not have those papers. Papers meaning not even a grade 9 or something, but people who dropped out from grade 6, from grade 5, but still today they're having big businesses and everything. But I love the fact that we emphasize that it's also important, because you know why? This month of October in South Africa we are writing Matric final examinations, so we're wishing them so well.
Yes.
What worked for you guys? What worked for you, and then what worked for you? Because maybe this might be something very important for those who are watching. Not writing your final exam. What would be something that you would say, okay guys, maybe you need to get this one to
the
write?
Most important thing for me is rest. Like you have to make sure that when you get into that exam, you are a well-rested person. Otherwise, there's no need for you to. I'm not saying people shouldn't cross night, but then if you cross night and then you wake up there in the morning, you're tired. But your mind is not at its optimum best when you're tired. Because you're gonna end up with a miscalculation, you're gonna end up forgetting other things. So I think you just need to make sure that you rest enough. And then even practicing, it's also like resting and practicing. I think those are the most important things. That is what worked for me.
Okay, but at home, how did you balance the equation, if there's such a word?
I'm the worst person to ask, I'm the worst person to ask, because if I'm being frankly honest. So at school, you get to school, and then the whole day you guys just practice, whether it's your maths or whatever, and then you get to school at 7 in the morning, and then you leave at around 4. So me, when I get home, I rest for a bit, do my chores, and then...
Oh, you also did your chores?
Yes, you have to do your chores.
You have no choice.
I didn't have a nanny to help me, so I had to do it. I had to be the nanny. So I would start to practice for the following day from 9, 8, not 9, I mean 7, from 7, 8, then 9 o'clock I get to bed.
Okay, wow.
Because you shouldn't overstrand your mind.
Also, yes, overwork your mind.
I think also the best way of it, at some point you find out that you there's a, you know, everyone has a way to teach, you know. You can be standing here and teach us, John, as a teacher, but you find that it's kind of a little bit difficult for me to understand you. You understand? Yes, at some point I just get you, but at some point I don't get you. I think it is the best way that for me it did work for me, especially when I was in tertiary. I think it was whereby now we're students, like we had groups. You understand? Not groups that were formed by a teacher, but it's a group that we ourselves like came together and said, okay, sharp guys, let's meet, and then we want to push 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like on that day, I think like there will be like multiple of questions, like question 1 until maybe like let's say question 6 of a question paper that you guys are revising or you guys are busy with it. So now what will happen, like we'll just say, like for me, if I have a certain question that I don't understand, I will elect amongst us, I will elect someone whom I understand well, especially when
and who knows better as well.
Also known better, like knows better, and then like I will elect that person, and the person will just go and then start to like teach us or start to like lead us and all those kind of a thing. Or we will participate, will ask questions and all those kind of a thing. So in that instance, it makes me to understand better. Even when I go home, I get like to rest a bit, and then when I wake up, I have to do what I have to do at home, and then from there I will just study. I will study probably from, let's say, 9, and then maybe around 10, 11 I will sleep. Then no matter what I love the most, it's when I wake up like around 2 or 3 or 2 or 3, then I will study until I bath in the morning, then I'll go and right. I've never came wrong on doing that. Yes, I've never.
So it worked for you.
Yeah, it worked for me 100%. I don't know about you. Yeah.
But if you remember, I'll come to that. If you remember the subject that's that you struggled on, do you remember 1 or 2?
What was it? I think it was when I was. It was maths. Something. It was
mathematics.
It was maths. Yeah, maths. You know.
Kind of that time you did not have maths literacy,
nah,
right?
we didn't have a maths literacy, my friend. I'm not.
Hey,
I was doing bound. They call it what? Bound to education. Yeah, my friend. We're doing history. We're doing.
you're showing your age.
That's
wonderful. What I'll come back to you. You know what worked for me? I'm one of a kind when it comes to studying. I love my space. That's a problem. That's why I get amazed when you say I do my chores. I do not like doing that when I wanted to have my space. Yes. You know what I did now? Because I started doing business at an early age, not to say I'm what do we call a successful businessman? I'm not, but we're getting there. But when I started, I did business and study and home. So those are 3 things that I had to jangle around. But like I'm saying, I loved my space so much when studying. So I moved away from people. That's how I did my things. I did not want anyone to help me. I help myself out. Yes, so I would go to class. Let's say I go to our normal, routines from in the morning up until your child time, and then we go back again. So when I say we go back, we would go together with Yuara and go with you. But when we go there, you please take your separate classes. We did not even share a class. Yes, that's how I loved it. But for some, they would do it 2, 2, 3, 3 and groups, right? And then they would be taking me like, Auntie, why when are you not coming to, like, can't we, like, please let's merge, let's make a group. And then I told them I love my space, and if I struggle, I make sure I play on that particular subject. If it's like I used to also struggle on mathematics. It was mathematics by then, not maths light.
It was mathematics by then. Me, it was maths. No, seriously, it was just maths. My friend, it was just maths. Yeah, it was just maths. Mathematics, it's a thing that it comes with what? With OBE, ne? I think OBE, I think for
my
me
friend, all I know is caps.
Caps,
you probably don't know what caps is. Caps is the new syllabus. You've never heard of caps, my friend.
For me, I know, like, I was like, like, old fashioned, my friend. Mamutia, you know those ones.
Yeah,
those kind
you
of
read those books?
Yeah, we read those books.
Sibincholo.
You know, like those old books. So, my friend,
Yeah, so it's not like I did not like loving, working in groups or working with people or not loving people.
So, Kunja, which syllabus were you doing?
What was it? What do we say in caps? What is it caps?
I know there was. I think there was NC something before caps.
NSC.
No, it's like it was. I think it was NSC or something. NSC before caps.
Because I remember when I was doing, I think standard 7. You're calling it grade. I think it was. We're doing like technology and then those ones, but when you get to standard 8, now it went back again, because I think some syllabus like were like introduced by stage by stage, because when we get to high school now, we started doing like those physical science, history, geography,
so you've done history,
biology, English, Afrikaans. Yeah, those subjects, those are the subjects that we are doing. We're not just doing this ones that I don't understand. Maths, my friend. For us it was pure maths, and then you will have to like, it caters, like it was what people were doing, so business also, they were doing maths, and then I think people were doing history. I think they were the one only that were excluded, or they were included. They were included when people were doing history. Also, they were included in maths. Yeah, so that's what it covers. So, how did you arrive on doing those? What you call? There's this one, like it's what NCV. NCV is which one?
No, NCV is the college level.
Or NCV is a college.
So it's like
it's a college level.
Yeah.
Oh, is this one like NATED?
Yeah, NATED, and then you have your NATED programs, your NCV. You have your.
But there's one that it was in high school, I think, before CAPS and all that. There was another one.
Yeah, there was. I don't know if it's NSC or something, but Leon, it's letters.
But when I did you struggle of the subject that you were doing, by the
Hey, ish. Life science.
No, man.
Life sciences was not make sure. Okay, so like let me tell you for me why.
It's what life science it's.
It's biology.
It's biology.
Yeah. Biology was something. Biology something.
No, let me tell you what happened. So like with me, I struggle with teachers that are understanding. So it's like when somebody is an authority figure and then they are very understanding, I tend to abuse it.
Oh, yes.
So,
see now, that's your problem.
My life science teacher, for I think it was like grade 11 or something. Yeah, so she was like too relaxed. She would let anyone do whatever they want in class. So me, the one thing that I did.
There was no corporal punishment.
Yeah, my friend. It was first corporal punishment.
Also, you were also relaxing because it was like relax, guys.
I took a nice nap every single. I know. It's like
you will get whipped.
I remember it was so bad. I remember there was this one day, it was double period of life science, and then after that it was double physics. After that,
double periods.
It was like double periods. So it's like 2 hours of.
Those one we did have some.
Yeah, it was
and you did have a no period, ne?
Something like no way. Those ones no. Now they call them deflexi. They call them flexies now. Flexible.
Yeah.
Kunje vandag kwezalanka na mabagabaga atsameka.
Asiona. Asdali vandag. Siwa serious is telling you serious.
Are you looking at the hands now? You can look at the hands and
when I say serious.
No, I got this season is like it's their season kind of. If I were to predict, last time I typed on my timeline on one of the social media, I said for me my take on this season, I think Bagania will do the best. I think they deserve the way they are playing right now. I think they deserve to have a league this season because of the way they play. I'm very happy and I'm very impressed with the kind of football that they are playing up to so far.
And then like even the PSL season, like all of the teams this season, they are trying. Even the other team,
I beg to differ. I beg to differ with that. I don't know. People have just started, predicting that the Orlando Pirates will do best in terms of the games because of these starting games.
Yeah.
If you may call it that way. I'm not jealous of your team.
And Kunjo, how many win?
I just love football.
You're like me, like I've grown. I think I've grown to a point whereby I'm saying I'm supporting this, I'm supporting that. I think I've reached a point whereby I love when I see a good thing or a good football being played. That's where I love. Like I love watching such teams. Like when I see a good football, then that's when my heart will be like, But as other stuff, my friend, I'm using gain actually.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying also like this season's PSL, it's amazing. Like even the matches from last week. Yeah, from last weekend that I was watching. I could see the boys the way they play their football. It's amazing. Not just only Orlando Pirates, but as well.
But you guys, were you impressed with the match of Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns?
You could not say impressed because we are worried. If you are a soccer lover or a football lover, you will not be, impressed. In a sense that when you look at that, you see the future of South African referees, and then you look at South African football. You don't just look at the teams, as per se to say Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs, but you look at how it would also impact on your team tomorrow. If you are Polok and the city, you are Magesi or you are Amazulu, you will feel that pain tomorrow. So people were complaining about the referees, but as for me, I was watching the game.
Yes, of course.
I looked at the game and it was going like both ways, and then it would come back to for a few minutes others would be under pressure, but you would see they want to play, but it's not possible in terms of almost when you talk of the defenders of the Kaizer Chiefs, then you would say they're very tough in terms of defending and so on. But when you see people just coming in, simple as that, you get worried again. You understand? But talking of the offsides and the fouls, that one is a different story because it's like people are being bought. I'm not trying to say people are bought. It's like it's allegedly like people are being bought or something. So it just messes up the whole game.
But there was no offside.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying there was an offside. I'm saying if the game is like that, and then we are emotional. We are called Orlando. Because fun would like him like a roll. Like even today, because it's Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates 6 o'clock today on Saturday. We're hoping for a very nice game. People are predicting that Orlando Pirates will win, but no, I don't know. You guys are prophets.
This one, I said, look, my guy, this one, I'm going with
it's even a promise.
I'm going with Paka.
I can see the confidence in Wara now.
Lately, even he's wearing a t-shirt. Last year he was not wearing a t-shirt more often like this. Like
last year, yes, these previous seasons, I've been wanting to buy the jersey, but they haven't been coming through. But then immediately when I saw the season starting this year, I was like, the boys are making me proud now. The boys are doing the things.
Wonderful, man.
Yeah, next up, we are going to be number 1 on the log soon. It's just fella one goal difference that's keeping us at number 2, but we are coming.
You see something about our Betway Premiership? You can stay there. You can stay there for almost 15 games. But when you fall, it's gonna be interesting. But again, we are here again. We talk of this Life and Stories Network. People must remember, those who are also watching our podcast, we appreciate their support, and then we keep on saying, please keep on sharing this. It's very important because the stories being told here, they are amazing. People must just go and look for them. They are amazing.
They must get and check us.
Please, they must do that. And then you know why? I'm saying this because we are also available in terms of advertising your business. So we're not just doing it for the fun of it. We are making these real stories. So at the same time, when you're watching the stories, you can also support the podcast. It's very simple to do that. On all social media platforms, we are available to do that.
Exactly, yes.
But again, we come back to Rustenburg.
Yeah.
We talking of the buses.
Yes, the Platinum City, yes.
And talking of the buses, it's been a very hurtful story.
Yes, I saw that incident whereby buses were penned down. It really broke my heart. You know, one thing that breaks me is when it's like when I have to come to work and then you find that people are making strike and they are banning the roads. You know, it's like you know, I was telling this other person that, you know what, you might be the one that maybe, let's say, you're not getting water, you're not getting electricity, you have a problem, and you decide to make a strike. And once you make a strike, then the problem is that you go down the road and you bend the road and all those kind of a thing. Then remember this thing, when you bend them, they begin to have what you call this thing that we call like potholes. Tomorrow you come with a car or a family, then you are driving at a high speed. Remember, you forget that you have bent the road, and then now the next thing you hit the pothole, and then the next thing is an accident. You lose someone that you love because of what? Because of the time you are not getting water. Then you decided to bend something that you will use permanently. So you understand such things.
Yeah.
So I'm even like I'm surprised with the issue of buses. Like, who would go out of the way and start the fire to bend the buses? You know, it's a lot of buses that were bent. So imagine,
one bus is how many? 70? What? 60?
65.
65,
yeah.
65.
Yeah.
So you almost one bus would kill the whole village. If particularly you are using a public transport.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because now you are saying, okay, fine, you've got a car at home, and then you are bending that bus, right? And it's so amazing when you hear the stories. It's like buses are bent.
Yeah.
So it's like a magic. They are bent.
We understand.
And then you have to also take into consideration that you're not only, like, let's say maybe somebody bent the buses to maybe spite the owner or something. You are not only affecting the owner's life. First of all, you are affecting also the drivers of the bus.
Exactly.
Now you have your Mawara who has to go to work every morning. He can't afford to travel by taxi.
Exactly.
He buys a bus ticket. He already spent the money now. How is he going to get to work now?
Exactly. And remember the load that will be on people who are working with the bus, like the bus, what you call, depot and all those kind of thing. Like those people who are available to okay, sharp base are not base 300. Okay, this one's body dedicated and then we find out to the base over 10. Can I watch the base over 10? Or this score for normally got about the score for score for number 29, score 30, you could have score 30. And no some villages or there are some villages in Northwest. They depend on the base because of Logote or Hotama base or base 1. There's a baraka base. It means you have to come to town the following day. So imagine if like base alone issue, then now tshantse go start go arrange we ka pele gore ya no batho ba le ba go ba ile kra transport yang. You know, it's a painful thing.
But earlier on we looked at the report there, because there are many reports explaining how many buses, but we hear it's about more than 16 buses.
Exactly.
But today when we were reading again, we had almost people saying 24.
I think it was around 24. So
it's a lot of buses.
It's a lot.
So we can say 65 times. Let's say just for argument's sake, say 65 times 15. How many people are there who are supposed to be coming to interviews? Let's leave about those who are working, who say I'm going to work, they know I'm coming. Let's see those who say my application or my assignment, I've got to submit a deadline today. I've got to submit. You understand? Okay, I've got to deposit today. If I don't deposit, it lapses. Those are the things, because it's not only about work. So I'm worried, hence I'm talking about this, because it happened in Rustenburg. So we get worried about these stories, but there are a lot of stories that happens in Rustenburg. But I'm touched.
Even me.
You know, because even today when we talk of those buses, we are talking of millions.
We are talking of millions.
And then where do we get where do they get them?
Yes.
Now, you're talking of somebody who's a breadwinner at home, who's working for the company. So they say we've got almost over 20 buses that are banned. So that means you need to sit down, sit at home. If it's not safe for anything, then you'll starve.
According to Owl, they said 23 buses.
23.
Yeah, according to Owl.
And in different places, right?
It's in different places.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I can quickly. But in different places, how would it be then?
Because I think there were 2 places being talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, with these buses. So hence I'm saying it's just really too much.
Yeah, it's 2 places. It's
Like
Channing,
yeah.
it's Channing and Classing.
Channing and Classing. So
my question becomes...
These are separate places, right?
Yeah, this is
very
very separate places.
So even today, but I don't know. It's not amazing. It's just something else.
Yeah, it's a very painful. Imagine now you are the owner also. Maybe by then, maybe you had your insurance, you skipped your insurance, and then you know that one it's a loss. That one is a loss. Once you can skip insurance payment, and then this unfortunate incident happens to you, then you are in danger then.
Jeez, man.
Not only you, but also your family.
But it's so amazing. We talk of this protests and people getting angry because of service delivery.
Yeah.
But we go back to it again. You've talked about it, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
And then I was just listening to what you were saying. People who normalize, breaking everything that should work for them, something for them, institutions for them,
exactly,
roads for them.
Yes.
You stand on the road there and then you burn a tire. Your own road.
Exactly.
Tomorrow in the morning, because when now at that time you are young, you are not working. You go in the street, you chant. It's not a problem. South African law, they allow that. You get a certificate for that and then you do that. But what I'm saying is, we tend to normalize these things as it's just so nice to do.
Exactly. Yes.
And when people, they mobilize. When they mobilize, you say, guys, tomorrow we are starting.
Yeah.
And then we don't have a road. Like you've been saying, it's a
we are
pothole
struggling. For you to get that road, you are struggling. For you to for potholes to be
and it's
attended
only one main route. You don't even have sideways. Like you don't have it.
Yeah.
Your pavement, you don't have it. You struggle to even get one pavement to your tribal office or something.
And sorry to say, MJ, but funny thing that kills me, when you mobilize and go to like what you call whatever to that you wanna do. The thing is that you bend the road, no?
Yeah.
The road that you'll have to use, and then you are making a tweet for who? For government officials. Them remember they have cars that they can. If he doesn't want to travel with R510, he can use Sun City Road. He has a car petrol allowance. He can say, okay, Sharp, this one has a pothole and they are tweeting. Let me use Sun City Road. He doesn't. He's not even worried about the petrol.
So you see now, those who are affected. The same people who are saying we are affected, they affect themselves
exactly,
again.
Yes.
Because for example, you ban a health center. Let's just think about it. A health center. And you've got somebody who's got a chronic disease at home.
Exactly, yeah.
So
even before you get to the chronic disease, what if when you're busy burning there and then you get bent also now, same time? Now you need a medical attention.
You need a medical attention. Oh yeah, guys.
And it becomes what? An emergency.
Emergency, yeah.
But you block the road and then there are stones all over. And the cars, you've just broken everything. Yeah. So I'm worried about, I don't know, maybe it's our societies, how we grow. And then people are looking at us like, okay, whenever we want to, voice out, we stay there in the road. And then
do you guys think that this mentality of like when you are dissatisfied with like service delivery and then we are banning roads and banning tires on the road, blocking, do you think it's a mentality that comes from apartheid? Because remember at the time those services, the deliveries and everything were from the government, right? And then the government was against black people at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe to fight the government, the people maybe were banning their facilities,
their properties,
because they didn't work for them. These were white facilities and all of that. Do you think that comes from there?
For me alone, that might be, at the same time might not. You must remember colonization is very big. And when you talk about it, it's very broad again.
Exactly, yes.
So we might be influenced by that to say the only way to solve it today, we solve it the same way we have solved it before.
Exactly. Yes.
Whereas it's not the same today.
It's not the same today. Exactly. Yes.
Like you are talking of a government. Today it's a different government. Totally different government.
Total different.
Even though yes, you would be using the same constitution, but even today we've got amendments all over.
Yeah.
Your I think 3 weeks, 4 weeks back. No, I think it's a month or two when they signed Bella Bill. Right, they signed for our Africans. You understand? For our black people, because this has been a very long time. People are suffering and then struggling with languages and everything. You name them in schools. So for me, it would be an influence to say, when you have started something and then you see it's working, right? You think. Even if the future again, when you want to solve, you try and use it again. So that's what they're using. But like I told you before, I said maybe because it's a constitutional right. We go back to constitution and say because we have been led by that. We read and say we've got a right to do that. So that is why we are doing that. But the right does not say vandalize everything. You understand? Yeah. But people every time even when they come in town, the town will be a messy town. You understand?
I say that because like when we look at it from a trying to be understanding perspective, it doesn't make sense for us to be dissatisfied with service delivery, and then yet vandalize the only services that we have available to us. While we are asking, let's say we are asking for water, but now we're burning down the road. And then eventually we get the water. Now we have to go bend the taps again because now we want the road. Hence I'm speaking to that mentality of, because it's not making sense, this thing that we're doing. Could it be a mentality that has been passed down from a generation before us, maybe?
I think that's mentality that
has been there before.
People these days they still stick to it, that for government to hear you, the only way is you can bend down the road and all those kind of a thing, and then that's when you will be heard. I think that's the only way they think that thing still work, and then it doesn't work because of people that you are dealing with them. There are people that they have alternatives that they can use. They can, it's just when they attend to you, they will attend to you. I don't know, out of pity or out of what. But I think also for us to reach a point whereby our country becomes better, I think we must look at the point whereby people who are in power, people who are leading, I think they must not be politically how can I put it, they must not be for a certain position, they must not be politically elected. They must not be elected for that a certain position. I think they must qualify for that. You understand? Because of it doesn't. There's no balance in our country actually. If we sit down and we talk about it, there's no balance in our country. Because of, how do you tell me if I'm looking to be an engineer at the mine, you are telling me that I must go to school, I must have a proper qualification, my diploma and all those kind of thing. But yet,
as well as experience.
When you want to be a leader, or when you want to be
political leader,
automatic leader, or you want to be an infrastructure leader, but when you have to be elected, you have to be voted for, you have to people have to vote for you to be on that chair. Me, I have to go to school. It's not fair. How many years I've went to school, and how many years have you you are just in there yesterday, now you are already in a leadership, and you're also I went to school for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and you never went to school, and you are coming and you are leading me, and then you expect me and you to have a conversation that will understand each other. It's not possible. How would I elaborate to you if I say this microphone is broken? You understand? Yet when you don't have that light about it, you don't have anything about it. And then as for me, I went to school. It's not. There's no balance in our country. You look at people who are sitting in the chair, you just ask yourself, these people, even when you sit down, I was looking even the issue of COVID, the time we're in COVID and all the way they were opening, the way they were telling things. You will sit down and think, like, these people, do they think that we are really, really, really dumb? Like,
exactly.
you know,
so it comes back to that service delivery again. Just sorry about that.
Yeah.
You see now, what you are saying, it's painful.
Exactly,
Believe me, it's
yeah.
painful.
It's very
It's not
disheartening.
nice.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's gonna take a very long time. A very long time. You see, the world itself is just developing into political positions.
Exactly,
You are
yes.
politically correct and everything. It's about politics.
Yeah, it's about politics,
Yes,
then
you
you money
influence
and all this,
policy.
yeah.
Yes, it's about influencing policies within the country. So that is where we are in the state today, because we are in the government of national unity. So we are trying to get ourselves, because we don't know that it's a new thing. So that's where you find those positions where you say, but you cannot be there. But we've seen those positions running around. We've seen them.
Yeah.
Like you would even hear somebody, saying a speech, or maybe reading that speech. You would even hear, man. That's,
Yeah, it's very sad the time that we are living in, where you would find that, people that are in government, and some people that they put as ministers of other things, they put you as a minister where you don't even know about that thing.
You don't have a background of what's happening. I think for this country to be balanced, I think the best way that they could do it, you have to, like, firstly, the requirement has to be professionally, so you have to qualify for that. Secondly, you have to be politically voted for that. I think if they are using these two requirements, I think that's when we're gonna have a proper leadership in our country. Because when you sit down, you won't waste 4 hours of trying to make someone to understand. You understand? But you and him will be talking the same language, and then you will be able to say, okay, sharp, look, here is where the water is passed from this, we need this certain pipe like this, and then it's gonna be this how many meter and blah blah blah. Also, because of you are talking to a leader who has qualification, who understand this story, he will tell you, okay, sharp, let's go and to the side. Immediately when he gets there, he's not gonna waste time. He's just gonna have a look, and then already he's able to collaborate your story that, okay, this guy is talking, we need this. So I think we'll even save a lot of money, we'll save a lot of resources, we'll save a lot, Maga.
Yeah, and then I believe that it would also cut down on the corruption that is happening. Because you're going to hire me as Mawara to be the minister of, let's say, sanitation.
Or sanitation, yes.
Yeah, and then I get there, I know nothing about sanitation,
Water and sanitation.
Yeah, and then I see 5 billion being allocated to buying Jojo tanks or whatever, and then I'm thinking, what are these things? And then they show me, and I'm like, what does this thing do? I don't know. Chowder man. I'm like, 5 billion for plastics.
You will say, my friend,
5 billion for plastics. Nah,
they say, okay,
man,
you're supposed to buy 2,000 liters. You said, but
2,000 liters is too much.
But 2,000 liters is too much, my friend. Or even if you're not saying that, you say, okay, sharp, Arabon, 2,000 liters, okay, sharp, Araga 2,000 liters. Then hota issue of material for it to be able to contain 2,000 liters, because you know the material or straw. So now, material sharp, this one is a light duty, this one is a heavy duty. You know, when you're purchasing online, when you're purchasing something, they will tell you this one is a light duty, this one is a heavy duty. I said, but this one also, buy the light duty, will see.
But I'm also worried about when it comes to service delivery, and the plan they have as a government to alleviate poverty or to help in terms of unemployment, because it's growing every day. Remember, President talked about the 18 to 35 years. I don't know how you feel about that, but you see, it's one of the, I don't know, it's scary that if you are 35, 36, or let's say 36, then you are no longer regarded as somebody who's a need for a workplace or any position thereof. So it's a worrying figure, because I heard some of the other political parties who were fighting for it to say, scratch that out. in football, you've got to get around those years.
Yeah, those, yeah.
Yes, when you are older, you can't run. It's understandable. You cannot run like those who are 21, 22.
The body isn't. You can't even take the same hits as you used to.
Exactly, but at that age, 18 to 35, and you are unable to get a job.
I mean, it's very sad.
And some people, honestly speaking, they bounce back around those ages.
Exactly.
Mostly of people, you find that life, they start to take it seriously when it gets to that age, because now you start to notice. That's why you see people when they start to reach age of 34, 35, you find someone say now, you know what, depending also in an experience that he has, then the person tells you that, you know what, I think I want to settle now. I think I want to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You understand? I think also I've seen a couple of institutions whereby when they release, they will be telling you that we need people who are always, they regard people who, like, for people, they take people who are under 35, actually youth, let's say youth. That are the ones that they can obtain learnership, internship. As long as you are below that, most of the company, when you try to find a reason why, they will tell you whatever that this person, if we take him to school, how long he's gonna work for us, and then what we're gonna get. But when I look at it, you take, I'm not saying it's wrong for you to take youth, but I'm saying to you, at some point when you are still young, or when you are still on that stage of youth, sometimes you don't know the value of the things because you have not yet matured, I think. Depending on how you are, how you were raised. Some people at the age of 20 to 35, they have not yet matured to that stage of say, even when the opportunity present itself, you will take that opportunity serious. You will just take it and say, okay, you will just, even when you, like, today you get paid, tomorrow you have to go to work, and it's find out the person who was busy with alcohol, like, you understand. So we don't take things serious until you reach that stage. Now you see that, hey, if I can fall on this path, there is no more coming back for me, because you understand now, you have to make sure that you don't make mistake on that age level. It's age level that is very crucial, because if you can reach somewhere, you know that you will have to go to pension without having pension funds. You'll have to actually imagine your people when they are going to, when they retire, they have something to come in. Where now you have lost your job at the age of 35, 40, and then for that 20 years until 60, whereby you are waiting for Mandela money now. You don't get any retirement, anything, any retirement funds.
But talking of Mandela money, because now it's there's also one called Ramaphosa. So everyone has got our grants has got names. So do you think we would survive without those grants? Any social grant? Because there are countries who are not getting that. Do you think we would survive?
Our
society is
our society will survive without that.
Because in South Africa, for this whole week we've been in, it has been grants.
It has been grants, and it's been very busy,
and everywhere. Not just in town.
I think for me, we will survive. Actually, we will survive. Honestly speaking, we will survive. Yeah, we will survive. I don't think we wouldn't survive. We will survive. Because I think there are people who survive without nothing at this particular moment. They're just going up and down, making some plans and how to survive. Not stealing, not doing any criminal activities, but they are doing their utmost so that they can survive. Okay, let me ask you, how do you think foreigners are surviving in our country?
No, they do survive.
So what do you think?
That's how I can answer.
We are home. We have home ground advantage. How we didn't survive?
You know why I'm asking this question, Waram and Pastor B. I look at how I don't know if it would be good to use people dependent on that, at all cost.
I think it's whereby now.
In a sense, you're not getting any. There's what you call the allowances and everything. I don't believe in that, but I'm just saying because you've got those who are saying you've got allowances and so on in life, so you don't get that allowance at all. The thing that stands in your way every month, this one I've got to stop for it. It's just a month.
I mean, also like it speaks to what kind of a person you are at the end of the day, you know. Because, you know, some people are surviving on that because of the situations that they are living in.
Exactly,
you
yes.
know. Because, you know, like some people, they don't, okay, like genuinely, we all know this. There are some people that don't want to work. You know. So they have to, they have their own ways of, you know, finding money, how they maneuver, you know.
So you've got somebody who's sitting and saying, I don't want to work. Just like that.
Like that's just the
gospel truth.
Yeah, it's just the truth.
Yeah, the people with that mentality.
I mean, I also want to be a person that gets money without working, but unfortunately, that's impossible for now. Until I find a way. Until I find a way that works for me.
Everyone has to find a way. If you do not want to work, you have to find a way of you making money without going to work.
Yeah.
Then we will understand that, okay, this one, okay, sharp. It means at some point we're talking of someone who will invest, will work, and invest. And after that, that's when you know that you are just waiting for your returns and you will stay at home and eat your returns only, not touching the investments. You understand? So that's when we're saying, actually now, you know, that I think that's a proper way of doing it. But you cannot say from start only that you never worked, you never did anything, and then you expect to like, I want to stay home and get money from who?
And from also, the people that get comfortable. There are some people that get too comfortable, you know, because you are living at home, and your mom is working, your dad is working. There's food in the fridge, you know, so.
That is some French and apple.
Yeah, you know, and then once you start to get work, and then you're like, this waking up thing in the morning is not working out. And you're like, I don't need it, as long as month end my father can buy me shoes. And then that one is very dangerous, because you might find yourself hitting the age of 35 with no experience, no work experience. Who's going to want to hire you?
Yeah, exactly that.
My guy.
You see, I was asking these questions in terms of, you know, our society and how we want to survive. You look at the economy is not growing as much as we anticipate. And even the government is looking at that. The world is looking at that in terms of the growth. It's just very slow. Hence, I'm asking, if we do not have those grants, would people have the ability to wake up and work? But now I get the answer to say people are... There are those who are so content in saying, I don't want to work, but they can't say it in their own mouth, but you just, you know, see.
Yeah, because also what do they call this? Actions, they speak louder than words.
Exactly. You would get someone to say, brother, I will see. We've got people there that are applying, and then it's closing date tomorrow, Friday. I mean, today is Saturday. We are saying we are next week Friday, right? We are giving that, and we give almost 5 days in between. But you get the same person on Saturday asking you, brah, no rinka merukole. But you talked about Friday, and he or she is asking you on the Saturday again. You see how serious, you know, these things can be. But Mawara, I get worried. You know, sometimes when you've got kids, when you've got a family, and you've got as a brother, because today people would be in love with, you know, having sons. As a brother, you would love to have a son. But nowadays, you know, God blesses with girls, females, and then we are so worried of how the society is treating this kind of girls. You get worried if you leave them behind. You get worried if they play outside. You get worried if they go alone. You get worried if they go with their mom to the shops just to, you know, do a shopping spree. When they are there, you get worried. You keep on phoning every time.
You have to call.
You have to call. Where are you guys? Have you eaten? Are you safe there? Can I come now? Okay, if you sometimes I don't even ask you, can I come? I'm saying, guys, I'm outside.
Exactly.
So you can take your time inside, but I'm outside. Because you want the safety. You understand? People, I don't know if you see this season now, October, November, December. That's when you see what we call human trafficking, you know, becoming in numbers. I know you've got a similar story to that.
It's a very painful one when you've got someone missing, or someone, maybe you've got a child at home and you find that someone has touched her, you know, especially when you are a father, you have like daughters, and then you or a parent, let's say you are a father, you are a parent who like knows that I've got a girl child at home, and then you know that, you know, then you when you come back home, you find that there's an incident that happened whereby your daughter was touched, and then you try to understand what really happened. It's something that breaks a parent when you find a parent has to go through that, you know. We don't understand, like you can't even begin to understand like what was happening through the person who was doing that to a child or something like that, you know, because of allegedly we have incident that is like that in Rustenburg, whereby there's another person who's been suspected of committing such crime. You begin to ask yourself that what caused such thing, what really happened, like, you know, understand what was going through his mind, or you know, you just want to understand.
Yeah, understand what was going through the mind. Because, you know, Wara and Pastor B, I don't know, maybe sometime in the podcast we'll have to bring them here, bring those men, because I don't know, we need to hear what they think.
Exactly.
Because it's always important to hear that story also.
Yeah, like
because we get stories from the new media platforms, we get them from newspapers, your radios, your TVs, how they portray them. So maybe we need to hear from the horse's mouth, just to listen to what are you thinking now.
Exactly.
Like you're sitting there, you're doing a podcast, what is in your mind? Because there's always something. You understand?
But do you not think if we bring them on, they're going to try and justify their actions?
Let's see them justifying. Then we can know.
You will judge from there that this one was. You know, I love what has been happening lately in our country with our brother, who has been accused of like cheating. What you call a girlfriend by that particular time and all those kind of a thing, and then the child was at hospital and then cancer and story. I love the way he came out and apologized, you know, showing maturity and confessed, you know, acknowledge what he did wrong and all those the things that he's not what you call proud of them, you know. Like I normally watch other people and say, I was talking to Kay last time, some of these things, most of it about KCA, you find that Peter, the girlfriends and the Peter, Ababuaka, the likes of Casper, you know, you find out some people Bababu, and we find out not girlfriend actually. I'm talking about Baba. The followers, the commenter, actually. Some they are bitter because they've never heard the other story of the man. But as Ronababa, we have listened, we have heard him talking, and then we're saying like, wow, shout out, because of whatever that he did, it's bold enough for me to say this is kind of a man that we need in SA, a man that when there's a crisis, they don't hide, a man that will show, like, you know, when there's a crisis as a man. Imagine someone coming and telling me that maybe, let's say, I was dating that person before I got to my wife, and then you find that they're accusing me of some certain things. I must be able to come out, you know. If
there's a need for
if I was framed, I will tell. But if people they don't believe, then it's fine. You understand? And then if I have to apologize, I will apologize in public, so that because of you have people who are looking at you as a role model, it's always important, you know.
It's a brand as well.
You know what? I'm not completely familiar with like what went down. So like, is everybody angry at Casper because Casper had allegedly cheated on the baby mama while the baby was sick?
We like, what can people they are saying that, you understand? People they are saying that, but the side of history apologized, you understand that, sorry for whatever that I did, and then all this kind of thing, everything that happened. You understand?
The story is just all over social media.
The story is all over the social media.
But then also me, like, not to be insensitive, because like maybe I don't understand, because also I'm also not a parent, but then what does him cheating have to do with like the baby being sick though? Like,
No, the story is just broad. Maybe you'll get to get the story.
Maybe I should do a
And-
deep dive and just
Yes.
catch
I know
Yeah.
we do that every time. I know we
Yeah.
research it and we also read all these stories. It's an interesting story, believe
Yeah.
me. We know why are we talking about this particularly. It's because we get worried about men. We talked about this and then we said we need to bring them here and then and definitely we'll do that. We'll give them a day just to be here and show the podcast and then talk with them and let them breathe.
Yeah,
let them breathe. Just a bit.
Men in our country are very, 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 very pressed.
Exactly.
You understand? They are very pressed at this particular
Don't do
moment.
anything,
Yeah.
just let them breathe. And then when they breathe, they'll tell you everything.
I'm not-
I was taking something from my just sorry on that. My aunt said, being brave, it's not easy. Remember,
Definitely.
we are talking of a brand here, and not just a brand, a big brand.
Yeah, big brand.
Building
yes.
from scratch, from E02 to,
Yes.
being yourself. You put yourself to where you want to be.
Exactly,
You understand?
yeah.
And then when you are there, you've got integrity. You've got the responsibility of taking care of everything that you do. You watch your step. You watch what you say every time. You don't just say things. You don't just talk things. You understand? You preserve your own dignity. You respect yourself. When you do that kind of a man, that's what we are talking about. Hence, I was taking a point from Mao to say, when we talk of men who are not breathing at all, but this one is a great example of saying, yes, there are so many stories about what happened, and then he said it's true. Believe me, at the start of the video, he just says, yes, get need. It's the truth. Right? You understand? So we need people like that. That's the motive of what we've been talking about. We need people like that.
Yeah.
Because every time we hear about men who are saying because and it's a lot for us because little now we are also men. We
Yeah.
are part of the society. And today, if you are not worried about somebody's daughter, if you're not worried, then there's something wrong with you because tomorrow it might happen to you.
Exactly.
And
yes.
you won't like it. And some of these stories happen small lapping inside, like in a household. So it happens, and then sometimes we shield them, right? No, it's just in like let's just put it here. We won't take it out until when I know what happened. You see these platforms today now. We bring them because people would know, okay, Life as Stories Network, it's about that. You go there and then you talk about the stories. It's not nice. Hence, we were saying to all these men who are exercising all these nasty things. Because when you say they would come and justify, we know. They've been justifying a lot of times.
Yeah.
I cheated because, I did this because.
Yeah.
Every time it's about because. Or because she did this and I also did the same thing, I had to revenge. It's about people, that's how they live today. You do this, we don't fix it. You say because you cheat, I also do what? Cheating, because we want to be what? Even. How does that help for us to be even? On that?
It doesn't help. I think even the system that is put into place, I think is the one that also plays a big role in our life. Even people not being made aware of what's happening. Like for instance, you find out like in prison, whereby you find that other men have been raped. You understand? And then imagine as a man being raped, like, you understand? And you come back, you are released. Remember the most important issue of a prison is that when you get arrested and you go there, it means you are going to be rehabilitated, and then you come back, you join the society in a good state. You understand? Only to find out when you get there, there's another damage that is being done to you, and you come back home. How do you come back home? You are damaged already. You understand? You are damaged already. Then some things we have to look them deeper. We don't have to look them at a lighter schedule. I'm not promoting touching because I have girls. I'm not promoting a thing of a man touching a girl, especially forcefully. So I'm not promoting that. You understand? But what I'm saying, people must look on the scar that is there on a man also. You'll find that there are a lot of things that men are going through. You understand? As Mawara was saying earlier on, that people were celebrating Boyfriend's Day. I don't know if that exists on our calendar or not. So it's a news that when they come, you get shocked, you know.
People are living.
Yeah, people are living. You know, imagine
on statuses.
Yeah, imagine in our country already you have like Boyfriend's Day, and then sooner or later you'll have Girlfriend's Day.
Yeah, it's already there. Like you know. I don't even have to check.
We are moving from Father's, Mother's Day, and then
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I'm interested. Please be honest with me.
Yeah.
Honest with the podcast and the viewers at home.
Exactly, yes.
What is a boyfriend?
A boyfriend is a friend that happens to be a boy, yeah? It's a friend that happens to be a boy.
Is it?
So you can have your girlfriend and have your boyfriend. That's what you say.
It depends. It depends on like
I
the person.
Explain, I will explain that. I don't know even where to begin when they like. I don't know if it's a proper way to describe maybe your partner. If you are not yet married, or you are still on the earlier stage of dating.
Okay, let's say now
you are not yet proposed.
Let's say you are married now.
Yeah.
Okay, would it be nice? Would it be right? Would it be correct to say, I'm married, but I do have a girlfriend, as I am Pastor A, or as I am JP?
Hey,
would it
my
be?
friend, people are going to die here.
No, I think it wouldn't be a proper way if you're saying it that way. But depends the name, how it appears, and you know, like you go to a funeral, and let's say it's a man who has passed on. There will be a scene whereby they say a colleague, and you find that a colleague that stand up and call that's a man. Remember, we are burying someone who's a male, and then so there will be a saying, let a friend come, and you find out there's a girl that is coming. There's a girl that is going there. So we have to understand, like, how was she called? Like, was he a girlfriend? Was he what actually?
But let me take it in this context then.
But actually, I think it's an English. It's an English word that makes this thing.
Okay, let's speak in the African language. Let's put it.
No, I don't go to
Oh God!
So it will be
no, but then the no. When it comes to the day, yeah, the 3rd October. That one is for your person that you are in a romantic relationship with.
Romantic relationship.
Not Rona Bomawara, the friends that happen to be boys. Yeah, not us.
No, now can I get this often that when okay, fine, let me just put it as this way. I'm just gonna pick an example of Mwara. You've got your as your like your girlfriend in this instance, right? In a romantic so-called relationship, and then when yourself have got like a male friend, it's okay, right? Up until yourself, then you know that your girlfriend has got a boyfriend,
male friend, yeah.
Then you have a problem.
I mean, it depends on also your character as a person, you know.
Yeah, but
then you know, like, here's the weird thing that I've managed to notice about relationships, ne? You would find that your person has a friend that happened to be a male, and then once the relationship now tends to be more serious, it's like those male friends, they tend to be shaken off, like they end up somewhere in the way. Like, have you ever realized that, like, it's rare for a married woman to say they are close with male friends?
Is it wrong to have male friends if you are married then?
No. Especially, like, it all depends on, like, knowing the boundaries, like, you know.
But you can have.
having your boundaries. Like I don't. It like
I
it
think
depends on you. It's your
as for
whatever
me,
floats your boat.
as for me, I think you know these things, ne? How can I put it? If you take a male and a female, and then you put them in one place, ne? It's very rare for one to tell you that we have boundaries. Even you know, the more you spend time with someone, Mawara,
It's borderless.
you understand? Yeah, exactly. There's no there is no line. You understand? There is no a line because of you get like emotionally attached or something like that. You understand? So it goes beyond you being friends, especially when you can spend a time, most of your time with someone. You understand? I think that's why you find people said, I've learned to love someone.
Okay.
It means at the beginning of the journey,
It
the love
wasn't
was
love.
I don't know, maybe he didn't love the person, she didn't love
That
the person
much.
that much, but as they spend time together,
They get to know each other.
they get to know each other. Then they tell the person that I did what I learned to love the
Then you
person. I
fall
think
in love.
yes, I think guys spending time together, I think it makes a development. You understand? It will somehow develop feelings when you spend a certain time with a certain person, especially most of your time. So I think for a married person to have a male friend or a female friend, I think it's not appropriate for me. It's not appropriate because of I know as time goes by, it will develop some things. It will develop something. You will begin to compare now. Even when you are home, you begin to compare this one, this and this one. I think if you have a partners, colleagues, I think it ends there because you know that the only moment where you guys meet it's when it's
work related.
Yeah, it's business related. I think that's where it can work. But if it goes beyond that, now it's a problem now. It's really a problem
Because you know what I get to I don't know, I concur to also what you're saying as Pastor there. But again, going out with your male friend as a married woman or going out with your girlfriend as a married man, saying because it's my friend, she's my friend, he's my friend, we're just going out to have fun. But we'll talk about that next time.
It's not gonna work, my guy. It's not gonna work.
I don't think that it would happen.
You understand?
That could never
Because-
happen.
But
because
guys, do you have stories like that? Do you see people doing that?
I think people they like to modify a thing a lot, especially us this new generation. We like to modify things too much. Say no, I trust myself, I trust my man.
Oh,
we like
trust.
we like to modify things too much. You understand? Like you find that the person John, let me tell you something. MJP. You see, when I can go with Mawar and then we book a lodge, we can be able to share a room. You understand? Let's say they give us 2 single bed. We can be able to share it and we sleep and then
even
we
one
wake
bed,
up.
people
Yes.
do.
Yeah, even it's one, we will be able to wake up in one piece without anything. You understand? And then you find that let me take a female or someone take a female friend and they go and they have to share. I've once read this story whereby now as I'm saying that men are going through a lot. Now the issue is that this were a colleagues they were going to a meeting, so where they were booked where they booked a lodge for company booked, I think there was a mess up when they got somewhere and then they had to share the lodge or they had to share the room together.
Yeah, that room.
You understand?
Yes.
And then it ended up whereby they end up doing whatever that they did. And this one, she began, because they didn't use even protection, then this one, she was pregnant. You understand? Then she was trying to apologize, but she never disclosed the issue of that she's carrying the baby. Now, as a man, you come again, now you have to raise a child that you are not informed of, that you are not a biological father of that child. It means you are now forced to raise a child that is not yours, which is it's a child. I normally hear people when they are talking about men running away from their responsibility of being a father and what. But I said, if like the ladies especially women, have they ever looked on the point whereby now you as a mother, you know, as for them, they are always sure that their child is theirs. But as for us, you are never sure, my guy. You will never be sure until you do a DNA or something. You understand?
But
that is my child.
Would you be sure about DNAs again today? Because it's
unless your person has money, then the DNA get manipulated.
Yeah,
I think.
But that's the last hope.
That's the last thing. But as you know, for doing DNA, I think it's a proper way. You understand? Because of now, imagine, John. It's very painful. I've seen how I love my daughter. I've seen, you know, it's very painful when you get, you know, the bond that you have with your child when, like, you bond with that child and then you like, you know,
covenant bonding.
Like, you know, you love that soul with all your heart, with all your thing. You understand? You love that soul, and then you find that all these years when I've been loving this person, when I've been loving this child, only to find out after some years she's not yours. Do you think there's any possibility of a man to recover from that? So I normally hear when we start conversation of people talking about how men are trash and all this kind of a thing. You know, there are those who are, I can say they are very irresponsible, they are very arrogant, they are whatsoever, especially, you know. But there are those ladies also that are of the same
cloth.
Yeah, they are the same cloth. So I think people must be able to watch these scenarios. And then you find that also we look at this. You know, when Khabana Batsalo, mostly Rona batho borre ga re rutiwe gore o ka kuka ngwana, ga re rutiwe gore o ka change ngwana and happy.
Don't you think it's culture? It's just like that.
Yeah, I think it's culture because of that culture how it were raised. You understand? And then you go again, you find that when you were born Mawara, you find that your mother all one. You understand? It means now how hula all one, and then hotan nakahaho. Remember, you are young but you are a male. So then you are able to see hore mama wa mogodisa alewa. You are unable to learn hore wena as you will be a father in future. What's your role? Khangwana atla. So that hore wena how tsena mo relationship in or marriage, you are able to have an information in your mind.
That's key again.
Yeah, a receive a baby. Ke support efe tshantse ke or ha receive a baby ke support efe tshantse ke efe mosadi aka ke eng se tshantse ke se dire. Wa understand? So there's, you find that in most of us as a man, there's a gap. You know, gore ga o itse gore o tshantse o etseng. Or her girlfriend then how we to go to waiting for a fitla ki support if you understand. You find that because of you don't know what to do, you find that someone affects that up.
And again, Pastor, that's when you see most men kind of considering, or let's say some of the men, they were okay, we've got a child, but I cannot even take care. Masculinity, because you would see the girl is not there, your partner is not there. Might be something. Let's say example, like you are alone, but you've got the pain. You don't know anything. You start thinking, no, I've got a sister, I've got a you understand, and aunt who can help. So I'll take the child to that particular person. And again, you don't learn again because you pass through. I can say, okay, somebody must take care of her or him. Then I'll support. I'll bring the money. I'll send the money. Don't worry. If you need anything, please call. That you see, when you talk to daughters, I remember this is because I also read some stories. A lot of stories that pertaining to men, you know, and then when you read all these stories, and then daughters would also cry to say, it's not like you guys, you are making so much of everything that you think you are doing. Like sending money and saying I love you on the phone and that's it. We don't need that. We need to hear. Come here and see me. If you are in the Northwest Province and you've got a child in Eastern Cape, go there. Go to Eastern Cape and see your child. Look at your child and then say I love you. You can say that in front of him or her. You see, it makes a difference to them.
Yes.
Than you sending money and say nothing, or sending money and say I've got 5 friends, I'll just want to speak to my. You understand? So it's paramount important to say we need to also man up in that space, or in that the gap that you are talking about. The gap, we need to close that gap. Yes, we might have differences, and this is life. Remember, we all make mistakes. If there's so-called to be saying it's a mistake, right? But as we move along, as we live, we will have all these mistakes. But this gap is a very long gap, and it has been for a very long time. So people are opening these gaps for their children because they've got, their personal vendetta with, their partners. They forget about the child who does not have anything to do with everything that you did. So they forget that. It's important. I think you touched a lot on that, and it pains me a lot to see those fathers who are absent, but they are there. I don't know if you get my point.
I know. Yes.
Mawara, this is my child. You know, and then you've done everything right. It's fine, or maybe you've done some things wrong, but take part. It's very important. Take part.
You must take part.
Take part, and taking part is not about sending everything that you want to send because you've got money. Right, or you can send the couriers and say it's for school, your school uniform, it's there, your presence is there, your presence yourself, not the present, your presence, it means a lot. And believe me, for some people it might be something, just a talk, but it's real. Some people would cry and then say, I can even die now because I've seen you. Believe me, people would say that. You meet Magoga Bare, it's been a long time. I'm happy to see you. Even if tomorrow, please come to me. I'll die in peace. Because I've seen. So, seeing physical, it's
being present,
but particularly for males, fathers, because I can read to ngwana kwa ga mosadi me ano ga re gola now yana, because the times are changing. You talked about not knowing, you don't have the skill. You end up saying I'll bring the money, everything, because you don't know, because you are not taught how to.
Yes, exactly. You are not trained. Yes, you
understand. But whose fault is that again? You understand? Because today you are saying nangas catch clearly, nangas catch washing. Okay, your partner gets sick.
You have to.
Now
what do you do?
To do the chores.
You can't cook. No, you can't cook.
You
only know how to do gravy, and that's it.
I think like especially your all the chores that you be are there at home. I think the chores that are at home. So I think the most important thing, you can be able to learn how to do them without anyone teaching you how to do them.
Exactly.
But you see, when it comes to raising a child, it's very crucial and very challenging. Yes, because of now, if you are not being taught and there you are there alone, it's very kind of difficult, especially when it comes to it's very difficult. You understand? I get again last time but make but one adopt easy than
unlike males.
But adopt easy, but adopt easy because of but make an honoring for instance a fetola tlhagelwa ke molekane ya gagwe ka leso, and then abasala le bana o khona go make di means tsa gore a adopte a khono ba a provider for bana ba gagwe a itseng. But as for wena motho anta to fetola tlhagelwa ke molekane, at some point it becomes very difficult gore o adopte o be a mother figure to bona gape yet that you understand, like being a single parent. Sometimes it's very challenging. Only a lot of that if they are single parent. Gona le mabane ne ke lebeletse this episode, and then motho a bua gore nna le papa ke motho wa mme a bua gore nna le papa re go tsele papa ne go sena mme. So this thing ya go apa ga ke hitse because of gore papa ge le ene na sa itwa pa then na ba phela ka grave,
so everyone
na phela ka take away.
Yeah.
So gore ga to phela ka take away, so le ene go lalo in so ga itse le go apa, you understand, and wena ga o eme kwa ntle go ka re ke motho wa mme wa stata wa judge. You understand? I think having parents, especially to our viewers ba ile gore ba re follower ba re sala morago, I think having parents, I think you should always thank God for that, because having both parents, it's a very 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 nice thing. Yeah, it's a privilege, because you get to learn gore especially lo motho wa mosimane, you get to learn gore okay motho wa mme o treatwa yang, and then ngwana o le motho wa ntate ga ngwana atla what you have to do. And then also gape ka fo le tlhakorong la mme o kgone go itse gore okay mme o behave yana le yana, you get to learn those kind of a thing mo go lapeng, you understand. Ga ba le teng batsadi, but ga ba seo gona lo one, it becomes a problem, especially I'm focusing too much on men because of they are the ones that play too much role in our country, in our society. Yes. Yeah, they play a very very important role in our country, so I'm focusing on them, not gore ke neglect batho ba bomme, you understand. Ke na le bana ba banyana go ntlo, so I'm not ga ke ba itlhokomolose batho ba bomme, but I'm looking at batho ba borre. You know, if we can be able to shape batho ba borre mo society sa rona, we're gonna have a bright future as a country. You understand? Because of okaela tlhoko di crime tse dintsi tse di commitiwang in our country, di commitiwa ke batho ba borre. Di gore le go ka lebella anything that happens e le gore it's bad most of the time of find gore etsa, yes batho ba bomme ba ka etsa di crime tsa bone most of the time ga se di ya ke di minor crimes most of the time ke tsena gore ba ka skebe ba like it's very like ke few tsena gore kra motho mma tse re stunya thuntitse motho wa ntate or are o hijack motho wa ntate ko it's very rare, you understand that. But batho ba bontate ke bone ba le gore even to the shops, they go to the shops, house breakings, you go there always ke batho ba bontate. I think society, if we can shape batho ba borre ra kgona kra ra fitlela batho ba borre, I think we're going to have a better society tomorrow. Didio tsa gore tsa go rape, you find out gote ngwana o wa so yes o rape ke motho wa ntate. I think re tlo kgona nna le a better society by then, because of mawara you cannot find gote motho wa mme o raipile ngwana wa mosimane wa 5 years. You understand? Yeah, it's very rare to get that. Yeah. You understand?
It's not that it's not happening, but it's
so as much as our government balebeletse batho ba bomme, I think also the basket itlhokomela batho ba borre, because batho ba borre ke bona ba le gore ba shape our, like if we shape them and then our society is in good hands.
I think was that just maybe in closing in terms of my comments, I clearly understand what you are saying in this context. We've got those fathers who are breadwinners, naturally so, and you know, I don't know, even in the position in terms of at home, you get a position of being a head. So that also gives you pressure. It's a necessary pressure. You understand? It's necessary that you have that pressure. You need to provide. You understand? So I don't know if it's a mentality or what. Because tomorrow you lose your job. You find your woman does not love you anymore. Things changes at home. And then because you're a man, you've got that ego again. Because it's ego about me. Yes. You understand? You don't have work. And then
you are unable to provide.
You lose your wife. Or your girlfriend, you lose that.
Yeah.
You lose everything. Sometimes you don't lose them, right? You lose your work, and then when you lose it, it's like your dignity is also gone. Now you want to fit in. You want to belong to like to your family. Like you feel like you want to belong. There's no such as like I want to belong to my own family. You are already belonging to the family. But because you don't work, it's like you're worthless.
Yeah.
You understand? So you try and push. You want to, make yourself hate. Like I came on now, I need to do this and that. You see, that puts pressure on you. You need to go out and
Toxic
do what out.
masculinity.
You are exactly that. Now, when you go out, you need to prove. There's a problem with proving. We'll talk about that because we've got plenty of time to express all these things.
Yeah.
But you prove yourself to what? To who? You understand?
To, yes.
Now you've got the society again around you because the society, the environment you live in also is also part of you. You also become part of it. So tomorrow you want to prove to them that you are not working but you are working. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
People would wear overalls and go to work, but they know they're not working. You find people like that. You know what? It's men, and then they go. It's like they're working.
And
when you find them in town, as an example, you find them they're sitting there, they're doing nothing. They walk around town. You speak to yourself every day when you walk. I'm not saying there's anything wrong to speaking to yourself, but you speak to yourself because you've got problems, but you want to prove yourself, and that's what we call ego now, right? And there's that kind of I don't want to be seen. You understand? You're trying to cover yourself. You're trying to be protective of everything that it's about you. Something truthful about you. It's not been shown. You are showing something that is not. You understand? You know why I'm speaking this? I was listening to, you find them killing and then doing that, but maybe we don't understand. I'm not saying it's right to kill.
Yes, that's true.
I'm not saying it's never right. It's not going to be right.
It's not,
ever.
Because remember, you are killing someone who's a father or is a mother to
somebody who's
a
brother,
who's a sister. Is that someone belongs to someone?
You take the bag. I got paid today 3,000 and you take my bag. 3,000 rand. I'm feeding about 4 families. I'm not saying my family, I'm saying 4 families. You've got people who are feeding families, bruh. With the 3,000, yes, for you it's just so small money. It's a quick cash. You get it and you run.
Yeah.
Right? Or you stab me and then I got wounds. And then I remember every time when I look at that. But you see this man, they need to be law. They try to prove themselves. They've got ego every time.
Yeah.
So, but the more we talk about these things, the more they talk about it, because men are not being taught how to speak about it.
Yeah.
You find ladies talking with ladies, they are gossiping, but this macabre, they get relieved. After talking about these things.
Yeah.
And then when you see them banale smile, but like they started somewhere. They started speaking about, wait, I've got a problem. And then you see how it but for men it's pride again. You must remember
it's pride again,
a very, very important and a very dangerous, exactly that. Now you pride yourself in things that you need to pride yourself in. So I'm just in closing. I'm thinking let's arrange that. For us to be responsible men, we need to be responsible.
I think if we have people or men that are very responsible, I think we're gonna have a brighter country, brighter society, and all that, because of all these things mostly are men related. Or whenever there's anything happens, you check around and you find that men is there, and then accordingly, men is something else. No matter what, people, they can disrespect men and all that, but men is someone but or everyone has to respect, because of they are playing an important role in our society. I think if we can try to fix that point, I think then we will be okay as a country. We'll be okay as a society.
Definitely.
I don't know about you, but I think this is best. You understand? This is best. Yeah, this is very, very, very best for us.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yeah, we are
good. I think we have spoke a lot, though we have not yet touched some other few things in Rustenburg. Like we have seen a lot whereby some people, they have shoved in their rooms and all that.
Is that in Rustenburg?
Yeah, it's in Rustenburg where people are shoved in their in their bedrooms.
Right? You need living around mines.
Yeah. Also, again, you go back, you try to find out why the person has that. You find that it's same thing that we have been talking about, trying to provide, trying to do this and this and this. Because already there's in our country, people are not employed. You know, job opportunities are less. You understand? There are too much movies in our country, which is I don't know when will they be solved and all those kind of things. We just pray to God that let them be solved. You know, before our country goes down, whereby now also we'll have to now from this country, country the business country. It's not gonna be nice. You know, I've seen how people struggle, especially people Babatwang. The neighboring countries, how they struggle, the passport and all that money, the 1 point something. You know, as South Africans, we are privileged. You know, something like more counting, and you are able to make income and all that. You are able to live, my friend. Take it as a blessing, my friend. Yeah, it's a very, very, very privilege, especially.
And you know, also recently I saw a video where somebody who was a foreign national in the United States, and he was saying, like, you know, when we're in Africa, I'm just gonna generalize and say Africa, and then we are living here, and then we see on the movies people are moving from this side going to that side, and then they find a job, and then they are able to live. And he's like, you know, all that thing is a fairy tale, because the moment you move from this side and then you get to that side, to make an honest living that is like equivalent to the same one that maybe you were making this side, you find that you have to work double that side. You have to work 2 jobs in order to be able to survive, because of the food there is expensive, the rent is also expensive.
The economy is not growing at all.
The economy there is very, very horrible. Where you could have just
talking of
this
currencies
side.
And your commodities and everything, so those are the things. Man.
And then you're thinking, go in that side, I'm just gonna get there, you buy a car.
That's what people think. That's how it is. My guy.
Yeah, Pastor A.
Yes,
it has been a fruitful and engaged. What's that word? Okay, fine. It has been productive.
Yeah, it's very engaging, productive, interesting.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this engagement. I think for the viewers at home, they must understand we are also here for Life and Stories Network. We grow with you, and then let's make sure that we share all these pages. Our emails are also there, and we'll make sure that we engage. Please go to Facebook, you'll find us there. Go to Twitter, you'll find us there. TikTok, you'll find us there. Remember, we are also available for business. You know,
we are
in terms of advertising.
We are offering some services. Yes.
Yeah. For today, thank you very much. And my name is Mulonta John Pelwan, signing out. MJP.
Yes, and my name is Pastor A. I'm signing out until the next episode.
Yeah, and this has been Warabi. Let's see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Shalom.
War shalom.
Yeah.